The Living Word in the City. Part 5. The Splitting City. Episode 33. The Silent Streets. The sirens stopped first. The wail of ambulances and police cars had been the city's soundtrack. Now, Chicago felt muted. Trains rattled along nearly empty. Corner stores shut early. Even the night felt quieter, as though something unseen had pressed a finger to the lips of the city. Darnell stood on 79th Street, Bible in hand, listening to the eerie calm. "There is a silence in heaven for about half an hour," he whispered, remembering Revelation chapter 8 verse 1. Marcus walked up beside him, looking unsettled. "Feels wrong, brother. The streets ain't supposed to be this still." Darnell nodded. "It's the pause before the storm." Episode 34. The Remnant Awakens. While the city grew restless, small fires of faith began sparking. In Bronzeville, Tamara opened her two-bedroom apartment to neighbors, where 20 people crowded weekly for prayer and Bible study. In Pilsen, an elderly woman named Marisol led worship with nothing but a cracked guitar. In Lawndale, Marcus gathered teens who'd once been tied to gangs but now carried notebooks full of scripture. Word spread of these house fires popping up across the city. Alicia visited one on the south side where an old man prayed over a young addict, and the boy wept, breaking his last needle in half. But Darnell noticed the backlash: police watching gatherings, city ordinances tightening. What looked like revival also stirred resistance. Episode 35. The False Dawn. At City Hall, a new figure emerged: Alderman Desmond Pike. Charismatic, sharp-suited, with promises of restoring order. His speeches drew crowds in Daly Plaza where he spoke of unity and safety. But Alicia caught his words twisting. He talked of cleansing the city of radical faith movements, code for silencing believers. Some churches even welcomed him, saying he was the leader they'd prayed for. When Darnell listened to Pike one night on television, he felt the Spirit whisper, "He comes as a light, but not mine." Episode 36. The River's Secret. One evening, Samuel the ex-preacher stood by the Chicago River, watching its dark waters surge higher than usual. Fishermen reported seeing shapes in the current: serpents, faces, strange fire. Alicia came to pray there and fell into vision. She saw the river turn red, and heard the Lord speak, "Out of this water flows both judgment and mercy. Tell the city to choose." The crew gathered by the river at midnight. Darnell read from Revelation chapter 22 about the river of life, declaring that Chicago's waters belong to God. A wind swept over them, but the river only grew more restless. Episode 37. The Red Line Eclipse. Rush hour, Jackson stop. The red line screeched to a halt in darkness. The lights cut out, the air conditioning failed, and panic rose in the packed cars. Phones died one by one. Marcus gripped a pole, whispering Psalm chapter 27 verse 1. People shouted, cried, shoved. In the blackout, a voice hissed through the cars, "Your God is powerless." Darnell stood tall in the shadows. "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." John chapter 8 verse 12. At once, a glow spread, not from bulbs, but a holy brightness around the crew. The panic stilled. Passengers fell quiet, some in tears. When the power snapped back, people whispered of what they'd seen. But the city dismissed it as faulty wiring. Episode 38. The Youth Uprising. On the west side, Marcus's discipleship circle of teens grew rapidly. They prayed on basketball courts, sang in laundromats, quoted scripture in corner stores. But a rival wave rose at the same time. A music collective called Eden vibes lured youth with concerts, free shoes, and promises of influence. Their lyrics mixed scripture with occult mantras. One night, Marcus confronted them in Douglas Park. "Y'all are feeding poison dressed up like manna," he said. Their leader, a young rapper named Vay, sneered, "And you're feeding chains dressed up like freedom." The crowd cheered. The battle for the youth had begun. Episode 39, The Dividing Line. Churches across Chicago split in two. Some embraced Pike's policies, preaching prosperity and comfort, dismissing warnings of judgment. Others pressed into holiness, even when numbers dwindled. A well-known megachurch downtown held a unity service, endorsing Pike. Darnell, sitting in the back row, felt the Spirit burn inside him. When the pastor quoted a verse out of context to justify compromise, Darnell whispered aloud, "What fellowship has light with darkness?" 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14. Half the congregation applauded the pastor. The other half walked out. The line was clear now: truth or deception. Episode 40, The City's Choice. Grant Park filled with tens of thousands. Flags, music, speeches, the rally for the new order. Screens lit the night with slogans: "Loyalty brings peace." One by one, citizens stepped forward to pledge allegiance to Pike's vision. Those who refused were booed, marked, and denied entry into new, safety zones around the city. When Darnell and the crew stood together in the crowd, refusing to bow, the cameras caught their faces. Their names hit the news by morning. Radical faith leaders defy unity pact. The storm had officially broken. The city had chosen its path.